Hello everyone and welcome to another Wellsboro Borough Council meeting update. I'm John Vogt. On Monday, November 9th, the Wellsboro Borough Council met to discuss agenda items, pass motions, and review ordinances. Homepage cameras were there.
Welcome everyone to the November 9th Wellsboro Borough Council meeting.
Motion to adopt 2021 budget for adoption as follows. General, $2,891,770. Revenue expenditure the same. Water, $861,650. Same for expenditure. Sewer, $658,890. Same as for expenditures. There is no increase in borough water, sewer, or garbage rates.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed.
Motion to adopt ordinance 700 fixing the real estate tax for 2021 at 7.133 mils. This rate remains unchanged from 2020.
Second by John. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed.
The borough has been awarded $250,000 in COVID-19 relief block grant through Tioga County.
Just real quick, Halloween night went well. We had a lower turnout, but it seemed like everybody had a good time. No major issues with that. November 19th, the new vehicle is going to be dropped at the dealership, and it'll go right for upfitting to get that into service. One thing of note, Pennsylvania State Police, their risk vulnerability assessment team is currently slated to come in here in the very near future. They will be starting up with their vulnerability assessment with the Dean Center. That'll be the first one that they're going to be doing, and then they'll continue on throughout the churches and the community. So we're looking forward to having them here. Other than that, a very busy month.
Okay, Councilman Prevost has done a follow-up with PennDOT on the air brake restriction signs.
Update is, so I'm going to, next step will be to contact Clint Owlett. The place, I just want to highlight the fact in the email I handed out that the placement of this brake retarders prohibited sign 1 mile inside the Wellsboro Borough line on Route 287 North defies professional wisdom as well as common sense. It's not fair to the over 110 families in that neighborhood to have their days and nights significantly disrupted and potentially their lives should one of these trucks jackknife. The other item that's attached is, or included, is that in the Jacobs Vehicle Systems Training Manual, it clearly identifies that use of these braking systems by the inventor, Jacobs Vehicle Systems, is dangerous on slippery pavement and wet, slippery downhill. So I discussed with PennDOT the fact that when was this vehicle code even enacted, and research showed, even though they were unable to provide it to me, research showed that it was adopted February 2012. So it may be time to revisit this ordinance, and that's part of why I'm going to be contacting Clint Owlett with some suggestions on our next step. So next month, I hope to have an update from my meeting with Clint Owlett. I was at his office today, but obviously there's some issues going on with the elections, and he's in Harrisburg, but I'll be in touch with him.
Okay, the borough has received a final reimbursement of $28,121.50 from the Tioga Conservation District Dirt and Gravel Road Program for the Bedine Street Stormwater Project. The stormwater system now extends the length of Bedine Street. The Wellsboro Municipal Authority has installed 2 new well buildings with more secure concrete buildings. The authority has replaced the buildings at 4 of the 6 wells in the public water supply.
The tree planting program is scheduled for November the 11th to replace the trees along Nickel Street and Queen Streets. The 2020 program also includes 2 trees on Main Street and 2 at the Charleston ball fields.
Public comments.
I have a question for Mr. Stickland, Ms. Hart, and Mr. Wood and Mr. Wheeler. At the last meeting, you voted against allowing chickens in the rural residential district, and I just want to know your reasoning behind that.
You want me, I'll answer that.
Sure.
There's an ordinance against them.
Yes.
There's an ordinance against them.
In the rural residential district, yes.
That's right,
Okay.
that's right.
So why is there an ordinance against chickens in a residential district that is defined by your definition as encouraging the continued use of outlying portions of the borough for rural living, including open space, forestry, and agriculture in low-density residential uses? Agriculture is defined as allowing for the keeping of animals, and I just don't understand why you wouldn't allow the keeping of animals in a rural residential district.
Well, again, there's an ordinance against that.
And why is there an ordinance against it?
Well, because
Inherently,
we
the
formed an
definition of a
ordinance
rural
back in
residential
93
district.
To prohibit chickens and all those other animals listed there out of the borough. And you're in the borough.
In the rural residential district.
In the borough. Okay.
Okay. I have one more question. So in the rural residential district, you allow people with 10 acres or more to keep sheep. They're basically the same as sheep, but that's not defined in your ordinance.
Again, did you read the ordinance?
I did read the ordinance, and I'm wondering why the ordinance was written that
Because in
way.
1993, the town fathers decided that's what ought to be, that's the way it ought to be.
And no
we're
one's,
upheld that, so. And I think we went through this before, haven't we, for about a month or two now?
we have, and I think it's unfair.
Well,
And I
it's
think it
not
doesn't make
unfair.
sense, and
No,
I've asked
everybody in
you
Waldeboro
to
is treated the
consider
same, I'll
changing
tell you
it.
that. Everybody in Waldeboro is treated the same.
Are they? Because there are other people in the borough with animals, and they're not being fined.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, give me
Craig
give us
drives
a
by
list of
2
them.
properties every day
Give them a list
on
of them.
Bodine Street that are currently violating the ordinance, and they are not being fined.
Give us a list.
Why should I rat out someone?
Give us a list, send them letters, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Second? Meeting adjourned.
Council meetings are open to the public and held on the second Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Thanks for watching. I'm John Vogt.
For all your ads, C&N.